All right, coach, coming off a successful opening weekend, 2-0, 10 goals combined over the course of the weekend. Turning attention to Holy Cross, home and home, first road game. Just want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, well, it was certainly a great start for us. We were happy with that. I thought that we played well in all three zones on the weekend, and this week is going to, you know, bring a whole different challenge because we had a lot of trouble with Holy Cross last year. They gave us fits. They're a very physical team. They're good in goal. I think they've got an elite player in McClinsky up front, Stockfish, and uh, Oliphant on defense is a very, very good player. And Gale's good in net too. He was very, very good in net for them last year against us. So we're gonna have our hands full, that's for sure.
Awesome. All right, we'll open up for questions. As always, if you guys just raise your hand, we'll get to you. Randy, you want to start us off?
You got it, Colin. Good morning, Cav. How you doing today?
I'm great, Randy. You?
I'm great. I'm great. Um, Want to ask about the combination of, I kind of made a point of it, and we all enjoyed watching it. Muldowney and Richard. I mean, they were dropping blind passes to each other, tape to tape in it. Like, what do you attribute to the chemistry they were able to show all weekend and especially Saturday?
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought that line was very, very good with Whitcomb, Richard, and Muldowney. They have a mix of everything. I mean, they can, Muldowney's kind of a burner. He can really fly and skate, and Richard is excellent with the puck and making, as you said, those. Jake knows what he wants to do with the puck before he gets it, which is it's a skill that's really hard to teach. And uh, I thought Ethan did a nice job at center, and he was distributing pucks, and he can also, finish too and shoot it. So he had some good chances as well. So it was great chemistry between all three, and I'd like to see them build on that this week.
We when we looked at Viking, saw big body, defense, block shots, but that stretch pass that he made to spring the breakaway for Shahan, he has some playmaking skill. It looks like too. Has he shown that ability to hit that stretch pass, pretty consistently from what you've seen?
Yeah, he does. And, we'll certainly encourage all our players to be able to make those types of plays when they're there. I think, his calling card is going to be his defensive play and penalty killing. But I hate to pigeonhole any type of player. And, when those plays are there, we expect our guys to be able to make them. And Vikings certainly put that one tape to tape to send Shazy in on the breakaway.
Power play snapped it around all weekend too. What did you like about your man advantage?
Well, I like the pace they played with. I like that we're getting pucks to the net. The only thing I didn't like was we only had one power play on Saturday, and that's more, I think, on us. Like we got to take more pucks to the net and uh, put the defensive team on their heels. Sometimes, I thought at times we settled for shots where we could have maybe taken the puck to the net and forced a confrontation that may draw a penalty in those situations.
Okay. I think that's it for me. Thanks.
Okay.
Adam, we'll jump over to you.
Morning, Coach. Looking at obviously Jake Percival is one of the spark plugs over the weekend, but the number that really jumps out, 16 shots, 7 in one game, 9 in the other. I mean, that's not sustainable, but is that sort of the Jake Percival you would hope you would see coming out of the offseason?
I hope it's sustainable. I'd like to see him put up that many shots every game, but he's been a good player for a long time. And as I said, I think it's now just experience, it's maturity, it's feeling comfortable in the program and then with his role. And he had a great weekend. And again, I thought that line was very, very good. They played in some important, situations for us throughout the weekend, and we're going to need them to continue to do it. I thought Tabor and Hugh Larkin were also very good as well.
Obviously, a year ago, the numbers show that the offense was a bit probably behind where you wanted. So to do what they did offensively this weekend, was it just a collective exhale from the returners to kind of say, okay, last year was last year. We're in this thing and we can really start from square one?
Yeah, I don't think, as I said, our focus has been offense in the preseason. And, I think we have some teams. It's a little bit different team. It's a lot different than last year. So I don't even really want to compare it to last year. It's a
Yeah.
lot different team. We have 14 new players. But the one area where I was very pleased with was the pace we played with and the speed that we played. Because I think over the course of 60 minutes, if you can play at that pace, you can tend to wear teams down. So that's something that we're certainly going to continue to make part of our MO going forward.
And with that speed, is there anything that you have to be extra protective against the other way where, okay, again, a team that's playing a little bit of a different style for you this year, these guys need to be more aware of, okay, yeah, that exposes us to X?
Well, it shouldn't, because if you skate well, you also can skate well on the back check. And that just becomes, a mindset. So if teams that, when you focus on offense and you're getting all five guys involved in your offense, there's going to be times where the other team makes an interception or a rebound goes somewhere where you're exposed to a partial odd man rush. But the teams that have speed can nullify those odd man rushes by great back checks. So that's an area that I'm okay with being at times a little rambunctious in the offensive end, as long as we're back checking.
Great. Thank you.
Sure.
Milton, we'll go over to you.
Appreciate it. Coach, you talked a little bit about the second and the third lines. I'm curious about the first and the fourth. What do you see as their strengths and then the styles that they're playing with?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really number the lines. Like right now, I feel pretty confident that we have four lines that can play in a lot of different situations. And the team that we want to be, I think if you look around at a lot of teams that play for trophies, they're not just a one-line team or a two-line team. And I thought all four lines gave us something on the weekend. Shandor's line created a lot of offense. At times they were trading chances, which I didn't like. That's something that, they're cognizant of, and we know that that's an area that needs improvement with those guys, but they created a lot and played with a ton of speed. And I thought Tattle's line was where they excelled. Was we played them a lot after goals were scored or we got scored on, and they gave us a great shift after goals. So swing shifts, I thought Tattle's line was excellent all weekend long.
Gotcha. I mean, you mentioned it's a team with a lot of newcomers. You've talked about some of the ways in which they've gelled so far. Are there areas where you're kind of pinpointing where you say, okay, the chemistry is still a work in progress. I'd like to see them do this well against Holy Cross before we hit conference play?
Yeah, there's a lot of areas where we can get better, and we're going to have to get better. As I said, we gave up too many odd man rushes last weekend. And Holy Cross has some players that are going to hurt you if you give up those odd man rushes. As I said, McClinsky and Stockfish and DeBoer, like they have some really good players up front that, and their defense will join in the play too. So we've got to clean that area up this weekend. We've got to take care of the puck. And a lot of it was either us, turning the puck over in bad areas, or sometimes our F3 at times was getting caught too low and not, assessing the situation properly. Sometimes you got to punt and you got to back off. And that's an area that we've got to have better recognition in those situations.
Gotcha. And then actually I think that was the last one I had. I'll hand off to Daniel.
All right, great.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Go ahead and jump in, Dan.
Yeah, do you have a update on Satar coming into this weekend?
But he got a 7-game suspension because of, well, play like the league he played in. He played with some pros, and the NCAA gave him a 7-game suspension, so he won't be eligible till November.
So does that include the 2 Colgate games? So it's 5 games
Out
remaining.
of 5, correct.
And then Callum Tongue, are you expecting to have him this weekend?
Oh, he'll be out this weekend.
Thanks.
Bob, we'll jump over to you.
Hey, Mike. I noticed that the Holy Cross BU game, 25 penalties. Is that the physical play that you were referring to?
Yeah, that was there was a lot of scrums in that game. And it's certainly something that I think we want to avoid. I'm all for playing hard and physical in between the whistles, but I'm not looking for a team that can win scrums. That just you don't get anything for that. The only thing you get is 2 minutes in the box sometimes. So we're going to try to avoid those situations, and every game's different. I don't know. I wasn't really there. I don't know what, why some of those things happened in that game, but this is
I don't know if you had watched the game and maybe seen.
I've watched some of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually watched 2 periods of the game. Yeah, it was a physical, game that had 3 5-minute majors in it. So sometimes you get those games that there's a lot of, I don't know, bad blood between the teams, but I want to focus on playing hard in between the whistles, not after.
Right. What'd you think of Ty's performance over the weekend in net?
I thought he was very solid. I thought, probably Saturday, I thought he was tested more on Saturday for sure than he was on Friday. And I thought he made some really big saves for us at key moments.
And I trust you must have liked what you saw from your penalty kill.
Yeah, I thought the penalty kill did a good job. I thought times that we made mistakes on the penalty kill, Ty bailed us out. So, there's a couple areas where I think we've got to be better on the penalty kill, and we were addressing those yesterday in practice. And as I said, it's our first weekend, and there's a lot to work on in our game. We're by no means perfect team yet.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
We'll head back to you, Dan.
Oh, sorry. I think my hand was just still up.
All good. Anything else for Coach, guys?
I'll do one if I could.
Go for it, Randy.
Flynn and Simpson look like they're going to both be seeing bigger roles than they had last year. How are their off seasons, and what do you see from them as they get into the lineup and were key contributors this weekend?
Yeah, I think they both had great off seasons, and they both played pretty well this weekend. But it's a long year too, and everybody has to keep improving and getting better. But I was certainly happy with both of their performances on the weekend.
That's it for me.
Awesome. Well, appreciate it, Coach. Thank you, everyone. Good luck this weekend.